Hello, 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 hello. Happy Monday, April 4th. I was like, what day today?
What day is it?
Quickly check what day it is.
I definitely put my mouse down to the start bar to see, okay, what day is it? All right, April 4th. Happy Monday. We have a few things on the docket that I definitely want to talk about today. But today we are joined by a guest. I would like to welcome to you guys Jade Valkyrie.
Hey,
We normally have horns.
More. Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
No.
Okay. No. Yeah, today's not the day.
That's fine. We have temperamental air horns. Sometimes they work. Sometimes they do their own thing.
I feel them in my
Jade,
heart.
go ahead. Oh yes. Feel they go. They get in here. That's the important place. Jade, go ahead and introduce yourself for people who don't know who you are.
All right. Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm Jade Valkyrie. I am a content creator, cosplayer, extreme comic book geek extraordinaire, as well as a tabletop RPG performer. You can find me on most social media places as Jade Valkyrie, and on Twitch, Jade Valkyrie with a 3 at the end instead of an E because somebody still has it. They ain't doing anything with it, but hey, it's what it is.
That's the worst. I think that happens to Jazz. What platform is that like for you? There was one that you keep saying that they have it and then they don't use it.
Yeah, it's on Twitter and Instagram. I cannot do just Jazzy Guns. It has to be underscore Jazzy Guns. Like I'm the second one or something.
Oof.
She's the fake. But yeah, it sucks when they take it and they don't do anything with it.
I don't even use it. It's be like
that's the worst feeling because it's like, please, like I'm really trying out here. I'm trying to have like a brand everywhere, so I don't have to put the weird 3 and then have that be a part of my intro. And here you are, just vibing.
Not doing anything with it. But really quick, I do want to let you guys know we are live on YouTube and on Twitch. I do see a couple of first chatters on Twitch. Shout out to you guys for joining. If you are watching on YouTube and you're like, hey, I'd like to join on Twitch, you could follow us, PartyChat Podcast _ okay? And I see Jaden the Epic there and KCash61. So thank you guys so much for joining and chatting over there. Let's get, first, before we get into things, how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing
good. Relaxing weekend.
Great. Yeah, very good.
Well, not really. One of the days we kind of. Okay, so we threw like a party, right? We threw like a party, and it was a Fear Factor party. So like I had to make all the games, and like some of them included bugs and stuff like that. And one of the things I decided to do was like this little dog race where we had to like act like we're dogs, put like dog biscuits in our mouth, and like try to get across. It's like a relay, but I forgot that we have hardwood floors. So when we did we got bruised up, and we didn't even finish the whole thing. That's why I got this big bruise. I got 2 of them, one on each leg. So we messed ourselves up, but it's okay.
Do you find it harder as adults to crawl on your hands and knees like than you were kids? Because when we were kids, I feel like it was the easiest thing. But as an adult, it's super painful for my knees.
You lowered to the ground when you were a kid. Lower. You ain't got all that leg. You know what I mean?
It could be the weight distribution.
Yeah. All the time I see a carpet floor and it's like, the fuzzy carpet. I'm just like, yeah, I just want to lay there. I just want to do my thing. And then I'm there and suddenly I cannot get up. Like, like this is my new fate now, I guess. Like,
this is where I live now.
Right.
This is where I will live. So yes, let's go ahead and get into the news. Let's start the news. Cool banner. Pew, pew, pew. I'm just happy about some of the stuff I did. Okay. So no, we didn't hear it. We didn't hear it today. They had a couple weeks where they worked. This is their week off. This is speaking of week off. Charlie isn't able to join today. He just had a new member of the family.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Charlie. He's going to be off today. He may be back next week. We'll see. But if anybody's like, "Where's Charlie?" Just let them know in the chat. Charlie got a baby.
Charlie got a baby.
He's on
daddy duty.
Yep.
Yes. All right. So let's jump into the first thing of the docket. E3 was canceled. Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, super dun. I didn't expect that because if you go, mind you, I will like kind of take a second back and be like, on their website, if you go to E3, it still says E3 2022, and then underneath it says see you next year, and you can sign up for information. So they need to update that, because I was like, where's this? Because I didn't believe it when people broke the news like a couple days ago.
1st. It was on April 1st, right? It was on April 1st?
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought it was a lie. I thought it was April Fool's Day.
And it ended up being true.
I said this is 300 IQ genius marketing right here, man. They try to get us, right?
Maybe they thought it would soften the blow, because if everybody thinks that it's fake when they learn that it's real, then it's like, oh, okay, we already went through our emotions already. No need to revisit it. But really quick, I'm gonna pull up the press release here really quick, so we can talk about this, because I honestly, like I said, I thought it was a lie. Just like the slap, I thought that was a lie. Turned out to be true. Also, just like the slap turned out to be true. So this is, oh snap, y'all can see all my
Christine,
hold
you be
on.
having 30 tabs
Pretend
open
I
every
did
time.
not see.
Oh my god.
Was that support over there? Let me stop.
Hey yo.
It was a deep rock fake. It was the rock fake. It was like
it was a rock deep fake.
The rock turns
just being there doing masculine shit. He was just putting up a bookshelf.
Oh my goodness. I was like, goodness, do y'all have to see the whole thing? Okay, that's better. All right now. Goodness.
My goodness gracious.
I stay having all my tabs open. Okay.
Tabs like 35.
Yeah, so many tabs open. All right, so and this is on their, if you go to theesa.com, this is their actual press release. Mind you, it's not on the news. You have to go to like resources or some type of thing. They make it kind of hard to find, honestly. So I'm surprised that people were able to find it. But it says the Entertainment Software Association issued the following statement. This is as of March 31st, but a lot of the news came out April 1st because a lot of people didn't believe it was real. Yeah. E3 will return in 2023 with a reinvigorated showcase that celebrates new and exciting video games and industry innovations. We previously announced that E3 would not be held in person in 2022 due to the ongoing health risk, because of COVID, right? Today we announced that there will also be no digital E3 showcase in 2022. I don't know why that was hard for me to say. Instead, they're going to devote all of their energy and resources to delivering a revitalized physical and digital E3 experience next summer. So they're saying whether you're, watching from the show floor or from your devices, the 2023 showcase will bring the community, media, and industry back together in an all new format and interactive experience. And they said they look forward to seeing you guys in 2023 in LA. So I want to know your guys' thoughts on this situation. Like, why do you, because they don't say why they are getting rid of the digital aspect of it, because I know they had it last year. We were a part of it last year, but why do you think E3 was canceled completely this year? And do you think, because I know they have hopes for next year, but the pandemic ain't going away. It's not going to be gone by next year. No. So do you think why do you think it was canceled? And then do you think it'll ever return? Like that they'll ever return back to its former glory? Because E3 used to be Christmas.
I think it was canceled because so many games are being delayed. What are they going to show and what are they going to announce to us so we can actually look forward to in a brief amount of time? And I don't think that there's many new games out that they could do hands-on demos because games aren't ready yet because of the pandemic and stuff like that. So I feel like that's why they don't have anything to show. At least that's what I think.
See, I don't know. I think they're playing it safe, man, honestly, because a lot of events are starting to pop up. Like we got our vaccines and booster shots and everything else. So everything else is popping off. Like we got TwitchCon that's probably popping off soon and stuff like that. I don't know. I think it might have been the lukewarm reception of it last year because last year's E3 really wasn't that amazing. And so they might be taking their time and trying to like they said, make it better. But I would just take, for example, what is the Game Awards? I would take a little bit of that and make it a live event like always. I don't. Part of me just and it sucks because I like E3. I remember they had the E3 when they introduced Resident Evil 2. man, that was so. I wasn't even there, but the energy with there was like crazy. And I'm like, y'all need to just get back to that. I guess that's what they taking a year off for. I don't think they need a year. They need to do something. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be because like the companies are already starting to make their own showcases. And if you don't do anything this year, then the companies are like, well, why do we need E3 for? Like E3 needs definitely needs a rebrand, but I don't think they should have. Don't quit now because now you're making it like less. You're making yourself less needed now. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, especially the part about like the other companies having like their own showcases. At this point, we've seen like all of the Nintendo Directs, like the PlayStation State of Play, and all of those things really pop off and have to probably. Well, first off, they probably don't have to pay money to be there. Or pay the price or negotiate. They can do that all in the house. So it really becomes like why do we need to go through the hoops at E3 if we can just do this ourselves? And it's like way shorter, and they don't have to worry about sharing the stage with other people. So I think it's honestly from like the company perspective might just be easier at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Because like what you're saying. In order for them to have a showcase at E3, they have to rent spaces, they have to pay staff to and then like tech to show do all the lights and stuff like that. If they're exhibiting on the floor, they have to pay for the area of space that they're taking up, and then whatever extra additional fees that come with that. And then again, staff. I mean, you can do volunteers, but sometimes they have staff there from the actual companies, to run their booth that they have. So there are a lot of things that financially they save money on by doing it on their own. And like Nintendo left, I think Nintendo left before the pandemic, and so did PlayStation before the pandemic. And like you were saying, like State of Play has been, outside of the last one, has been pretty good.
I'm about to say that last one.
I said that with an asterisk. Usually on average.
On average.
Right.
Yeah. On average, it's good. And then also Square Enix has their own thing. Ubisoft has their own thing. EA Play. They everybody's kind of finding their own way of surviving through the pandemic. And I don't know if they're I feel like Dwayne was saying, you're giving them more time to kind of figure it out if you don't do it this year.
Yeah.
And so next year, what would be a reason to go? You save a lot of money not going.
Well, there's another aspect about it, like indie developers used to go to E3 and would pitch their games to like other dev companies. So now the indie developers kind of missing on that kind of as well too.
Oh dear.
So, I think it's just bad all around. Like E3, I don't care how trash it is, but you gotta do something, bro. Nothing better. It's better than nothing at all, man.
Yeah. And I do know that last year we have a little friend here. He's super.
Yeah, I love the cat.
Yeah,
that's Nyx. She really likes video games, and apparently she was just like, oh hey, we're talking about video games, so you know what, you gotta pay your cat tax. Be cute. You can't
so adorable.
Like this.
Don't be shy now. Now you're shy. Now you're shy.
Yeah, she's like, I come when I want to, not when you want me to. I'm gonna come when I want to. But one of the things that was funny throughout all of this, I don't know if you guys saw the slight shade that Mr. Jeff Keighley was kind of putting out there. Because right after the news broke, he had tweeted, I think it was just a smiley face or something like that.
It was. It was just that emoji. And I was like,
yeah, he has the Summer Games Fest. And then I think later that night, I don't know if it was that I got an email or whatever from Summer Games Fest, like, hey, we've got so many exciting things this week or this month or this year. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, Jeff. I
ain't gonna lie. His events are getting better. His events are getting better. And I don't think the companies have to pay for them because I think the sponsors and the advertisers are paying for that. So I don't know why E3 is not you know what I'm saying, doing that as well. Yeah. Because he's gonna be here. I think his event's gonna get better and better.
This year is gonna be really great for him. Oh yeah.
Plus, I think like the last time that E3 was even in person and like the history beforehand, it was just kind of like, yeah, everybody's here for like the floor E3. Oh my god, all of them are coming.
Another cat.
It's
Like,
I'm like, another one? I'm like, is that Garfield? Like,
what is Nemo?
the cat went and changed their clothes
Nemo
really quick.
said, "Everyone don't want to go in the camera, but I will."
I will.
Yeah.
They literally have been here all day, and then it's just when the camera turns on, they're like, "Oh, hey,
My time to shine.
hello." But yeah, it was just kind of like they were, you had like the convention center proper, but then everybody else's events were like off-site, had like this entire production presentation. And it's just like those were cooler than just going onto the E3 floor and talking with people, because it just had all the stuff that people wanted in the first place. So I think something like, I think the only thing that would work would be something like the Game Awards / Summer Games Fest, where it becomes more collaborative. You have fans coming in, things like that. That just makes it more worth it overall.
Yeah, I do hope that they recover. And if they do, I would say that organization would need to be like, a little bit more set, because last year they did dip their toe in an all digital experience, and there were some flukes, as you would expect with your first time doing it, right? But I just hope that if they are going to take this year off, that next year is a more solid and more defined, more figured out. It does suck that they aren't going to be here this year. I would like to go next year, like in person, but I don't know. Like, I hope it's going to be worth it to fly all the way across the country to go,
Yeah.
It's a 5-hour flight.
And we've never been to E3, so like I want to go.
I would like to go
one day.
Go. Yeah.
But it's looking like it might not, I don't know.
Like, it might never come back. It might never come back either. So.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That sucks. All right. On to the next thing. Xbox Game Pass has a family plan.
This is a freaking cellular service. We better get the family plan and get a new iPhone on us. Like, what's going on?
I know.
What's funny is like the fact that this news came out after Spartacus came out. So it's kind of like all the slight shades that people are doing competitively is kind of hilarious from where we sit. What we have is the information per PCGamer.com. They're saying that their source was quoted by Windows Central, but Microsoft is moving ahead with an Xbox Game Pass family plan, which could be set to launch sometime this year. Apparently, you'll be able to share access to this premium family plan between up to 5 accounts within the same country, with a subscription handled by one central account holder. So one person pays for it, and like up to 5 people can have an account on the Game Pass. Right now, pricing isn't really known yet as of when this article came out. But there is one question that some people have is like, is it going to translate PC versus, the Xbox? Like, can that work? Or will it just be all in one? You either can, if I got PC, everybody's doing PC. If I got Xbox, everybody's doing Xbox. But what are your guys' thoughts about this the Game Pass family plan?
Man, I wish I had this when I was younger. Like, this would be so much easier to convince my parents. Be like, can I have this game? This will be like, oh no, you only have to pay like this amount of month. Because my dad's a gamer, but it was kind of like we had to switch to convince my mom like what games we could buy. So we had to choose games that the both of us could play. So that ended up me being probably too young to play God of War, but playing it anyways. But with something like that would have been a lot easier to have, and especially if I had siblings or something like one of those lines, it would be a lot easier to convince parents to get games, because you're not having to buy like, now these games are like $70 a pop. Just having the monthly subscription and be able to play exactly what you want, and then not regret that you opened a game and now you don't like it and now you're gonna return it and it's not gonna trade in the same amount. So I am jealous and excited. I'm enjoying how I enjoy Game Pass mostly on my PC since I don't have a Xbox, but it's lit.
That's cool. I do feel like What were you saying, Dwayne?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it was good for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. What more can you add to this? To the, the
PlayStation
selling?
games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would be
No.
great. I don't think they'll. I think they would both die on a hill before they let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But yeah, somebody had said in the chat that so basically Netflix.
Pretty
I mean,
much.
pretty much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is having a subscription plan now. Everything you
Yeah.
think of.
It's weird. I don't know.
It's weird.
I hope so.
I liked it when some had like when you had like Netflix, you had Disney Plus, and you had Hulu. Well, Hulu and Netflix were like the ones.
Yeah.
Now Paramount Plus, Peacock, everybody has like one.
HBO
I'm like,
Max. It's like it is starting to become like TV again. It's and I never liked that. And cable was supposed to be like free of ads. Did you guys know that? I didn't
cable
know that.
first came
when
out.
Cable first came out, it was supposed to be free. They was like advertising it, like, yeah, you ain't gonna have ads interrupting your show, and then they got ads. So it's like it was
supposed to be just straight TV, like it's supposed to be just straight TV shows, and then the ad people was like, but we're gonna slide you this money.
Yeah, it was like,
put
you gonna slide me this what?
And
you're like, hold on, you said extra money, so we get their money and your money? Oh yeah, we're gonna throw that in there too. So that's what I feel like it's about to become on the streaming services too, man.
Yeah, I want somebody to do the math and adding up each one that, like, most people have, and then comparing it to like cable and be like, is this actually cheaper in the long run?
Right, because they are raising prices.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Xbox will do the same thing too. They're gonna raise their prices eventually.
That's why I use my mom's account.
Right, yeah.
I don't think
you might have to pay for that.
You know what's wild though? Netflix is trying to stop password sharing. They're like, they're trying to.
They're gonna put a fee on it. That's the talk is that they're gonna put a fee on it. So if you want to share it, then you have to pay like
a
fee for it.
Pay that fee. I ain't doing it.
The thing that like I do feel like we might actually be at the place already where it already probably is not cost effective to have all these streaming services versus cable. Like the reason I don't really watch like the fallout would be Netflix, because I feel like a lot of the things that Disney Plus has their like original shows and things, but Hulu is basically TV. They have their own stuff, but those are things you can watch on TV for the most part, right? I don't want to miss out on, like, if I have to choose one, I don't want to miss out on Netflix. I would just keep Netflix, and then if I had to choose one, get rid of everything else. But it's definitely not cost effective anymore.
Yes.
You're fighting for your life right now.
He's stinky, but he doesn't want to leave. And I'm
I see that. I see that little paw going up there.
Right,
You're like, okay, all right.
He's comfy.
He's good, but I need like some kitty toothbrush.
Oh, did he just eat? He just ate.
Yeah,
he got
I think so. He got the itis.
He's comfy. He looks so comfy. All right,
he's getting there, boy. This is nice.
Oh yeah, he's almost there. Almost there. All right. So next thing, Grammys were yesterday, which I was surprised. I do look. Yeah, I never know. I saw it on Twitter. I was like, oh, okay, like a week after the Oscars. I'm like, hopefully it'll. No, I don't think it's going to do anything from what happened.
Hopefully somebody got slapped at the Grammys. Okay.
No, well,
man, I wish. Can we? Because I'm so tired. I'm just like, can we just move on?
Yes,
please.
I think Grammys is like a better Oscars. You know what I'm saying? More entertaining Oscars because it's music.
Right.
Other than that, it's like, I mean, who's really? I don't know. I don't know. Because it's different.
That's just for us. Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like. I mean, like off of Jade's point, I was hoping that something big happened at the Grammys that would kind of fizzle out what happened at the Oscars. Yeah. But nothing.
I was glad that my girl Doja got one though. I'm glad that
yes. So I'm gonna show, and I'm trying to just show just that tab.
And not
your luck.
And not the Rock putting itself up.
It's privately for me. No, so And one thing I learned is that there aren't a lot of awards for the Grammys anyways. I don't know how long the show was. Oh, let me, sorry, I keep forgetting.
It's
Oh, there
because
you
it's
go.
like, it's because it's almost like if you're not signed to a major record label, it's like you're not getting nominated, right? It feels, that's what it seems like, right? It seems like a club.
I don't know. Can indie artists really get an edge on the Grammys? Like, how does one, like, if I'm an artist, how would I submit Christine's music to
Yeah.
this?
I think it has to be big enough. I don't know. I feel like it has to be like played enough. So
is it like like you gotta have, but is it because the song is good, or is it because I know people that could actually put it out there and promo my song to where everybody's hearing it? There's been songs I've heard some songs where I'm like, it's all right, and I kept hearing it. I'm like, all right, this thing is like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I said it was all right the first time.
I mean, to me, all the award shows are kind of rigged, in my opinion.
They have their.
Well, yeah. I think to a major degree, yeah, I would agree with that.
Fans aren't voting for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
Fans aren't voting, and I don't even know when the thing is happening. So I know we're not casting votes. So who are you basing this winning off of? Who are you talking about?
All the people already in the room. So like, even if if you don't vibe with that person, then you're probably not going to vote for them, even though objectively it was a good song.
Yeah.
Because that's how the Oscars are. The Oscars, it's an academy. And if you won an Oscar, then you're a part of the academy. So basically everyone who's won an Oscar before you, unless you get kicked out, you have to you can vote on, the new submissions. And essentially what they do is, and I don't know, I'm not gonna tell myself, but if you had a movie and you wanted to submit it, you would just submit it to the academy and you'd put for your consideration on it. And then that's sent out to everyone in the academy for them to watch and then vote. So, okay, Ophelia said it's the same for the Grammys. So essentially, it's the similar thing where there's an academy and everybody who won votes.
But then if it's like the first
winners.
one, right? Like, say if it's the first Oscars and the first Grammys. If nobody won previously, who's voting? Who's in the academy?
Who started? Is the chicken before the egg?
Right. That's a good question. I do feel maybe at the first part there was founding fathers, and then that group voted, and then they were like, "Well, we got to let new people in. All right, let's let people who won in." Maybe that's kind of how.
No damn sense. How you gonna make the people that won get in there and they get they just gonna vote for themselves?
That's part of the problem. That's where when people say it's the politicalness of who you know and what and who likes you and stuff. That's what happens, and that's what To get in a more real space, that's why a lot of us were not allowed into that, because if a lot of white people were winning and a lot of white people were voting for more white people, a lot of black people weren't getting a chance, or people of color in general, And now that's changing and that's shifting a lot. Well, no, I take back a lot. It's shifting and it's changing, right? But
slowly but surely. But
slowly,
I remember Tyler Creator had an issue, and he was like, my album was in a rap album, and it got put up for rap album.
His Earthquake album.
His Earthquake album. And
I think he said Tyler Perry, and I was like, wait, what?
Like, no. You got the Oscars on your mind, obviously. He says, no, but Tyler, he was like, and they can't put their whatever they want in the category. I think that Grammy Academy chooses what genre they're in. Justin Bieber was something about it's not pop, it's R&B. I was going for R&B.
Yeah, so I saw, to your point, right? Because Best Pop Duo went to Doja Cat and SZA, which for me are R&B, not pop. So that kind of goes to what you're saying.
Pop has changed now, though. Pop has changed now.
Pop, I was going to say pop could kind of...
Pop is popular music.
Yeah, pop could be
but then wouldn't it be a lot more songs on there,
Yeah, how many? It's 5 right there? Damn.
It's 5, right? Damn. It's 5.
Yeah, it's 5. Damn.
I don't know the last.
But okay, Lady Gaga, she's pop. Tony Bennett, he's a more distinct type of music. He's not. He isn't really pop. But I guess they're gonna use it as pop because Lady Gaga, right? Justin Bieber, he's pop. BTS, K-pop, right? Coldplay, they're pop, aka soft rock, which also can go into.
Are they rock?
Yeah, I think they're soft rock. So they're especially recently, their music has definitely been changing and they don't know where to put them. So they put them in pop. I can see that. Doja Cat and SZA, they're the ones that if you had to show me which one does not match any of the others, I would say it's them two.
Them two, yeah.
Yeah. But listen, I'm happy they won. I love that song. I love that
Yeah,
song.
I love
And
that
I love the
song, too.
video because at the end they're playing a PlayStation.
Yes.
The
yes.
video.
I love the
So,
video.
like, yes, I do too. And so kind of looking through like the winners, right? Which, okay, another question. If anybody, even in the chat, if you guys can explain, it says record of the year and then song of the year. Explain the difference to me.
I don't.
I can't. Winner.
I don't know if it's on vinyl. I don't know. If it's on vinyl, it's a record. And if it's not on vinyl, it's a song.
See if it spins better. Which one spins the fastest?
I want to ask. I want to ask chat. Another question is, I didn't even know you could tie. And I looked down and somebody tied with for
so
one
there's
award.
Yeah, hold on. Where is it? I saw that too. Oh, right here. Best R&B performance. Silk Sonic tied with Jasmine Sullivan. Again,
give it to Jasmine Sullivan because Silk Sonic already swept everything else.
Yeah, Silk Sonic was kicking ass.
They were.
I mean, like they deserve it, but come on.
Oh, I think that. Well, I think that song is awesome. I don't like. Okay, so hold on. So somebody explained. Record is for. I'm trying to find it. Okay, song of the year is basically the best songwriting and songwriter. Oh, okay. Songwriter and artist. Why don't they just separate that by making it less confusing names?
Best songwriter and whatever.
Well, yeah, why did you say song? That'll be another award. Best songwriter now because they're gonna expose a lot. It's gonna be one guy that's writing everybody's song. Ain't gonna be sweeping that thing.
That's
like,
true.
I wrote Silk Sonic. I wrote everybody, man.
Right, there are ghostwriters. Yeah, like that one year where Neo put on half the music of a lot of people that you heard. Like there's Beyonce, like all of them they're all Neo songs essentially.
Yeah. So when it's a tie, do they like break the trophy in half, or do they give it to both?
Did they?
No, like
you get this,
maybe you get one.
Yeah, like it's maybe like a Mean Girls thing, like where like they like break it off and then like here you go.
You're funny,
or they melt it down and they have two smaller versions.
Yeah, that would be cute if it's a tie. Get like a little mini one.
No, I'd be sad. Give me a full one.
Give me a full one. Put this on my dash in my car. What am I gonna do with this mini ass trophy?
Right? Is this a key?
It's gonna be a bobblehead. It's gonna be a bobblehead.
Yeah, like. So like going over it, so like you were saying, Silk Sonic, they took record of the year and song of the year, which again they need to change these names here. All right. Album of the year is John Batista. I don't know if I'm familiar with.
I don't know this man.
Who that is?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, me either. But he won.
Best new artist, Olivia Rodrigo, which I'm not surprised because I've been seeing ever since she was making her own music. I see her name around. Even though I think I know one song, and I know people might come and like flame me in the comments, but that's okay. All right. We know what we know.
And I was always curious about like what did they classify as new, because like Glass Animals, for example, is like they're not new.
Oh really?
They've got
new to me. They're new to me.
Essentially, yeah, I guess so. Or like Phineas, I'm pretty sure
he's not new. Yeah.
So
that is a good question. Like, what is considered new? Like in the last year, is Saweetie new either? Is she new?
Saweetie's not new. She's been in the game for a bit.
Yeah.
Now, people like all of her songs is another.
Baby King, is he new? Like Baby King,
so they need to redo the Grammys. That's what I'm hearing. They need to redo these categories and like, is it new to Grammys or new to
since popping off? Right, since popping off, they should be like new, like you know what I mean? Like their song is popping off. They're new to the
So they said they're popular. They're popular now. That's what. Sorry, I cannot say your name. I'm sorry. H's. Okay.
Same, honestly.
That's what I said. And I said your name. So she took best new artist and best pop solo. We'll keep going. Traditional pop. I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay. So then she also took pop vocal. So there's dance. What does that mean?
TikTok songs. I don't know.
Stop it. Stop it.
Oh man.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
When they just do all these movements and it's overly complicated and you
Right,
can't
on how to do it.
you can't
One thing I
jerk.
just noticed: 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop has 4. Rap has 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's unique, but okay. So best rap album went to Tyler the Creator. Best rap performance went to Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. So performance meaning on like a show or something, or like at,
Maybe.
See, that's
like
what I'm saying.
if they were
Like,
Jimmy Fallon, like what is? I
Or
don't.
in their
that's what I'm
music
saying. I'm
video,
like,
I
was
don't
it the
know.
music video that performed? Like, was it good? Like, they liked the way the art was in there. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's too
Or is it that the
ambiguous.
song performed well on charts?
Maybe, I don't know. It's a
Someone
little.
explains this. Explain this.
Why
to
is
us.
only 4 songs up there? Everybody else got 5, but they only got 4 for that.
Yeah,
that
maybe
one
it's
right
like
there.
that's
presentation, if because I know that I've seen Cardi and Meg's like music videos for that
Mhm.
and like subsequent like performances of that, and it definitely had like, you know, a structure or like and like a story and a lot of budget going into the visuals. So maybe it's like the best way of performing it, but maybe not like necessarily the best song. Because there are some songs that are good, but then you have like they're just literally standing like yeah,
their performance of it.
But yeah, all those people know how to put on a show, so maybe that's like the
They do.
caveat.
They do. So okay, best rap song. This was another surprise for me. Kanye and Jay. When did they put another song out? I thought they didn't like each other. They friends again?
Yeah. They talked.
They talked it out.
And then
they did? When?
Yeah. Damn, Christine, where you been on the rock? Where you been at lately, man?
Apparently, when I saw this, I was like, they cool with each other? Because I didn't even know that. I thought that they wasn't cool. Okay, I learned something new then. So going through best R&B performance, and if there's anything, if anybody wants to see all these other ones, I'm just skipping to some of the stuff.
What is that?
I don't even know what American Roots is, man.
Because American Roots is not a positive.
I'm scared to find out. What does that mean?
What is that? That's, you know what? Never mind.
Isn't that different from country?
Let me not say it.
Ain't that different? Different.
It is different from country, because country is like down here, and rock is like they're.
Now, what the hell is American? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. These ambiguous. They be like the best to do it.
I can confirm one person in that category is black. I'm just doing random Google searches.
Yeah, he is, because he's the same one that won best artist of the year or best album of the year.
Oh,
something like
I think.
That, yeah. I think
something like that.
I'm bad.
And I was like, okay, so I know he is, but these other ones, what makes them American Roots, and what's their like? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I'm not going to repeat what Jaden said, but y'all can see the chat and see what Jaden said.
We need to revise these Grammys, man.
No, that's why I didn't say what I wanted to say. I was like, maybe like be concerning with something, but you know.
We need to revise these Grammys, man. We need to
make our own Grammys. That's what we need to do. So best R&B performance is a tie between Silk Sonic and Jasmine Sullivan, which I do like. Out of the two, I would give it to. I mean, I love them both. I thought it was their performance of Silk Sonic, like any of the whatever they're rating this by, right? Any of the shows I saw of Leave the Door Open was amazing, and you know, I loved it. And then Jasmine Sullivan, she should win, you know. So I'm definitely with it. R&B song went to Silk Sonic. Okay. Best R&B album, Jasmine Sullivan. Yes. All right, country. I don't know these people. If y'all do, you can check out the link and then keep it going. I was surprised when I saw rock, right? Look at best rock song. All right. First of all, I didn't know Paul McCartney still made music. I thought that he was done. I thought he was done, you know, with music, still alive.
You're so funny, bro.
Not saying still alive, like we thought he was dead or something.
Right, bro.
Oh my goodness.
That's fair. I usually assume after not hearing about like old white people for a certain amount of time, they're just dead.
Oh Lord.
So I'm just saying that he is still alive, but I'm surprised that he was still making music. I thought that chapter was done, but maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Also, Kings of Leon. When did they come out with a new song? I didn't even know.
Foo Fighters? I haven't
Or
heard Foo Fighters in a minute.
HCDC.
Or AC/DC. I don't know. We're not in that. We're not in that.
I'm
Right.
not on that
Wait,
side
what?
of Apple Music.
Right.
I don't know.
I know.
Wait, hold
I
on.
know. I know. I be on hip hop, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And Foo
Or
Fighters,
Paul
I didn't know,
McCartney.
because I mean, I listen to everything, right? Well, I'm not going to say everything, almost everything. I don't do screamo rock because I do rock, but I don't do screamo rock, and I'm not really a country person. I'm just it ain't me.
I don't
Okay.
like
Like, you know,
country music
country?
at all.
No, there like I liked Carrie Underwood.
Sounds
I liked
depressing.
her. Carrie Underwood. I liked her. But I couldn't name another person who does country music.
Lil Nas.
Okay, I like him.
Mhm.
There we go. All right, there we go. I know two. I got two. But yeah, rock, I was surprised to see some of these. I didn't know Weezer was making music again, although I could not name a song that they did before. I just knew they were a name that exists. And so this is, again, no shade. This is not shade. This is me just sharing my knowledge and what I know and what I don't know. And I did not know that Paul McCartney was making music again. But okay. All right. Foo Fighters won that. Everybody else, you can see the stuff. This is on CNN's website, so you can check out the Grammy winners to see the full list available there. But those were the Grammys, and nothing happened newsworthy because you could have blinked and not even noticed this even happened.
I ain't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy things. All right, on to this is personal news, okay? Oh, you know what? I'm so bad at this. I made like all these pictures for everything. I'm still going to show these pictures. E3 canceled. Game Pass. There's the news for that. The Grammys, okay?
Hold on, look at my boy. Hold on, go back. You gotta see my boy.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie. You see
Hey.
him?
What music he dropped?
Right, I was about to say what song he do. 'Cause I don't know.
He dropped it, bro.
No, I saw a picture of Tiffany Haddish when she was. That's how I found out the Grammys are happening. I was like, oh, she's in a new dress. What is this for? And then I was like, Grammys. Oh, the Grammys are happening because I guess she has a custom
Real
designer
quick,
dress.
did they used to have like a comedy Grammys thing where they used to have like the comedy shows like recorded and put on vinyl? Whatever happened to that?
They did like there used to be
Remember
yes,
Richard
there
Pryor
used to
one
be
was?
comedy albums, yeah, because it used to be if they put their music on like or not their music if they put their set on audio, so like a CD or a vinyl, there used to be that did exist, that did for sure exist. Now, I mean,
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah. Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
That's it. That's it.
I don't know, but yes, onto the personal thing. Okay, this is the personal thing.
Is that Bridgerton?
It
What is
is
up with that hair? What the hell?
Why she
That's-
look
yeah,
majestic as hell?
that is
It's like,
Bridgerton. Okay,
I haven't
which
watched
is
Bridgerton. I
We
gotta
never
watch
watched
it.
it,
Everybody's like Bridgerton is awesome. It's great.
it's my yes.
list.
My heart panties were in a whole wad watching the show. I was just like, it's just like,
That's his face.
What? Your heart
What?
panties.
Your heart panties?
Excuse me?
yeah, like not my physical panties, but my heart was just like in a wad. Like it was just like, you know,
And this is
I,
one of your
like-
favorite characters that's getting this spinoff.
I love all the characters. I love all the characters. So the spinoff is going to be off of the Queen, who is the person you see in the picture right here. She's the Queen, the one in the
middle.
green dress.
Okay.
And it's a spinoff of when she got married, or when she's sorry, hold on. That's my 6:15 alarm.
That was mine alarm,
That's
and I
all-
was like, "Wait, what was happening?"
Same
My
color
alarm, I keep forgetting to like do something about that. But it's off of Queen Charlotte. And kind of rewinding. So if people don't know, Bridgerton is a series, a part of Shondaland. Shonda Rhimes made the series. Shonda, she also made How to Get Away with Murder. She made what's the show? I used to watch all those. She made Grey's Anatomy. She made the Private Practice. Scandal. Yes,
Scandal,
with
yeah.
Olivia Pope. Yes, Scandal. Such a great show. I have to see how I didn't see the ending of the show, like how it ended, but I was watching the show up until near to the end. But yeah, so she made this show called Bridgerton. She signed a deal with Netflix a few years ago to drop a whole bunch of shows. She dropped this. There's also Inventing of Anna, which I haven't seen, but that was really big all over the place. And then Bridgerton season 2 just recently released last week, I believe. And I've seen the season twice. I watched it and then a day later watched it again. I just absolutely loved it. My heart was just like the patterns and everything. And like, I'm like, you know what? Let me go rewatch the first season again. I was just absolutely in love and enamored with the show. So when I heard there was a spinoff, I was super excited. I'm like, I know they probably don't watch the show, but I don't care. We're going to talk about it because I'm excited. Okay.
Yeah, you talking pretty fast, you see. Go ahead, breathe real quick.
I had to take a quick breath because I was just so excited. I am going to show, just in case we have viewers that also like the show, right? So the show is going to be about Queen Charlotte. This is off of IGN's website, and they're kind of showing the cast. But Netflix announced in a tweet that the Queen will be reprising her role. And this is a prequel series. And they said the cast just had their first table read. So they recently announced who some of the cast is. And this is, again, for people who watch the show. But they've got the young Queen, and like these are the people I think that's going to be young Lady Danbury, if anybody watches the show. Yeah, those panties are in a twist. Watching that show, boo, okay? But not physically, because I mean... But yes. All right. So he's going to be young King George. And then I was excited to see her. Anybody who watches Game of Thrones. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me uncover your face. You got to let me know if your face is covered. I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
Oh,
she was like, I'm just here, man.
I'm just here for the ride. I'm having a good time.
I was like, oh, I can't see Jade. I was like, there she is. So yes, if you watch Game of Thrones, she was Catelyn Stark and she's in this. So I'm excited to see her again. I liked the actress and the acting of the role, even though I did not like the character of Catelyn Stark, because we're not going to get into her. Yeah, how she treated Jon Snow. She was I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. This is Lady Danbury, the adult version, and then the younger version we already saw. And then
why has he's you know what? Never mind.
Which what? I have to know.
Like,
his nipples hard as
why is so hard? My God.
Hey, who did my man like that? You know, damn well they supposed to crop that out.
Oh man, God.
They say this is a happy man. They say this man is
that man cold. Give him a
cold as hell out there, man. They could have cropped his nipples out of that damn frame. Why they gotta do him like that?
Yeah, they could have. It's like right above.
Right, like they cut it like right underneath him. They couldn't just cut it like a little bit.
They said just in case any of you casting directors are in for a good old time. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah. I didn't notice that until Jess said it. I will have to say that whomever did this, they have it out for him, because you could have just cropped it right before.
Cropped it right there, like just.
Yeah,
free the nipple.
Someone said, "Give him a blankie." Probably because he's cold. This is Golda, who plays the Queen currently.
Wait, hold on, go back real quick, because she be smoldering, don't she? She give me like female rock vibes. She give me female rock vibes.
She does this in Bridgerton. She does that all the time. Her eyes, and I just love the way that she looks at people. She's like, Lady Danbury, why do I feel like my strings are getting pulled? And like the way she's looking at you, I'm just like, oh yes.
Me like principal vibes though. She give me like, are you late for class?
Yeah, or like you lying kind of vibe.
Right.
Yes.
So the prequel is just gonna be like how, because the other actress, she had her eyes wide open, so it's just over the course of the series.
The things that you guys notice.
Yeah, that was like
have her eyes and smaller.
Yeah.
I can't.
That was like they thought that was Wanda Sykes.
Oh,
I see it.
Oh, here.
I see it.
That's great. You're making.
Now we need a Bridgerton parody with Wanda Sykes.
Oh yes, please. I'm here.
They should do it. She could be the queen. She could be the queen.
She does look like what?
You look like Wanda Sykes, bro. I know it looks familiar.
She could definitely play her in a biopic for sure. If Wanda Sykes has a biopic, she could play her for sure. Somebody asked, is this based on a true story? No, Bridgerton is based off of a series of books by I forgot her name. Someone will have to look it up and put it in the chat. I do apologize, but a lady who wrote a series of books, and that's what the show is based off of. And each book apparently focuses on the love story of each of the kids, because Bridgerton is a family. And the first season, the oldest daughter, that was her love story. And in this season, it was the oldest son. And then next season is going to be one of the other kids.
Okay.
But yes,
Like,
I think
It ain't incest in here, is it? It ain't that type of. We ain't getting that.
well,
close.
so only.
No.
Only
You know how to written, I'm just keeping it real. You know how to written. You shall marry your sister's cousin. First cousin,
so
like, you know what I'm saying?
Spoiler alert, all right. In this season, because in the last season, if you saw last season, one of the characters died, and his cousin came to the house to take care of the finances and stuff, and ends up being. Spoiler alert for anybody who's seeing the show. Spoiler. Okay, everybody who wanted to hear, y'all, your ears are covered. All right.
You only give them like 2 seconds, Christine. God damn.
I'm trying.
Hey, spoiler time.
They're scrambling to press X, like, oh shit.
Press the mute button. So the cousin comes and ends up being betrothed because of the mother's, like, what you call it, manipulative nature. Ended up having her daughter be betrothed to her cousin. Essentially, he was the father's cousin, so he's like, I know there's some removals in there, right? Like twice removed, 3 times removed, whatever that is. But he was the father's cousin, and that daughter is now betrothed to him.
Hey, step cousin.
Right? I'm like, where does it?
No.
Well, not step, because it was his father's cousin.
Oh, hey, real.
So when you say there was that,
Okay.
Dang, I thought it was gonna be like, it was just like period, but no racism, just vibes. But
no, we gotta throw a little realism in there.
So it's like, it's not they're not Targaryens, okay? They're not doing that, but it is kind of close.
We like to keep it in the family.
Listen, you want to talk to them dragons, boo, or do you not? Let's give it those. All right, so now let's turn to Dwayne for the
let's go.
April game releases.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me put you up on the. Hold on.
Myself. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. I see it. All right. Hold on. Let me get to my handy dandy notebook. I do have it open, but I just want to make sure I have it. Okay. All right. So we have Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I know Christine's very happy about that one. MLB The Show 22. A lot of people like that one. Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition. That's on the Switch. By the way, Lego Star Wars is on every platform: Xbox, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and S, Switch, PC. MLB The Show is on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, SNS, and Switch. Chrono Cross is on the Switch. The House of the Dead remake. That is my shit. All right. I love that one. That's on the Switch. I can't wait to get that. It comes out April 7th. April 7th, Godfall Ultimate, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and S, and PC. 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, Switch is on the Switch. That's April 12th. April 20th, Star Wars, The Force Unleashed. Woo! It's on the Switch. All right, I'm going to get that too. April 25th. Is that 26? Okay, 26. Zombie Army 4 Dead War is on the Switch. April 27th, The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is on PS4, 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. April 27th, Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, PS5 and PC. I'm going to cop that too. And April 29th, Nintendo Switch Sports is on the Switch. I'm going to cop that as well. There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, no, because they don't have a way for me to like choose you to be the one that is the solo. Oh, you know what? They do have a way. I just figured it out. Like we learned something new. Look like there, and yeah, we can still hear each other, and then take it. Oh, okay. I just learned something new. I didn't know how to do that before now, so I took me out so that he could see. But hey, learning. We learn.
Learning here. This I love it. But yeah, there's some good games on there though. There's some good games on there that I know. I'm kind of least. House of the Dead was my thing. You know the little you used to go to the arcade and you had to get the gun. And shoot zombies. That was one of my favorite games growing up.
I love that game.
Yeah, that game is so.
That's cool that it's coming on to the Switch, right?
Yep. And it's a remake too. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm copying that. And in 3 days, I'm copying it.
I'm ready to body people in the Switch esports, like the Switch sports.
You
I
talking
am ready.
spicy. You
I am
talking
ready.
spicy.
The 29th. Yeah.
Gotta get my wrist ready for like the tennis and everything.
tennis, oh, yeah. Oh,
all of it. I want all of it.
Now, is it multiplayer? Is it multiplayer? Like,
yeah, I think so.
the sport?
I think so.
Because that would be cool if
That'd be
we did
stupid
like
if
a
it wasn't.
stream.
Yeah.
If we did like a stream and we just standing there
You know,
and like
smack Chris Rock, like you know what I'm saying?
playing. I was playing tennis. Not.
Oh, you was okay. They have a. I bet they gonna mod that in there. You just
They've
have the
already
game
done it with the
with Starkest.
WWE game where they had him like throw Chris Rock from like the ledge and everything.
Oh my god!
Oh my
People
god!
are quick. They are
fast. They are fast. Yeah, because I saw the SpongeBob one after last week's stream, the one that you were talking about, Jazz.
Yeah.
Like the SpongeBob one. I saw it after. I was like,
I'm going to. Jeez.
Right.
It's like, oh, what people are just so creative, like when they want to be, you know.
I'm sorry, Jay. Your cat just laid.
He's so cute.
Yes.
Oh my
Laid. He got his
He's
arm.
like, oh, I
And
see
then
it
there
here.
goes another one.
Yeah, she's sniffing the camera right now. They're just like, hey, we're gonna get some fans today. I swear that this cat has more of a fan base than I do at this point. But it's okay.
Yeah, it's so cute. You just saw the paws up. He was just
Right.
That's what's getting me every time I look over. Is like the paws moving and like slowly like hello.
So you itching up.
Yeah, no, this cat's dead ass asleep. Like, yeah.
That's
Give it a
so
little
cute.
pat.
So cute. So cute. We go on the games. Yes, Dwayne, I am looking forward to playing Star Wars.
Unleashed, right?
Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, I know you are.
Shout out to Warner Brothers. They sent me a Razor Crest logo. I mean, Lego set for me to put together.
Are you gonna build that on stream?
I'm thinking about it, but then baby girl, she wants to be a part of that.
Baby.
So.
Have her with her. Have her with you.
I would say have her with her
on the stream.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She might break it. She might finish, and she be like,
have her like off camera. And then
off camera.
Like,
we'll see.
Thanks for that piece.
We'll see.
You don't break it.
Because even hubby, he's like he wants to build it, so it might be like a family build type of thing.
Keep that.
Yeah.
Never
mind. You can keep that.
Yeah. Like, I want to build it too.
Yeah, he wants to build it too. So I think it might be like a family build thing, and we'll just build it together. And I'll show pictures on the after.
Yeah, please do.
The after of it for sure.
Good.
So now it is time. We have 2 reviews, not 1, but 2 reviews.
Oh yeah.
Because Moon Knight came out Wednesday. Episode 1 premiered, but then also on Friday, Morbius came out. Okay.
Oh, Jazz. Oh, look at Jazz. Jazz was straight up demonic over there. She ready.
Before we get into Moon Knight, because we are going to talk about Moon Knight, let me show my picture. Bam! There he goes.
He looks so sexy. Oh my god!
In that picture, he does look really good. He does look really good. Before we get into the Moon Knight episode 1 review, I do want to say on a Morbius touch. Okay. Well, you guys went to see it Thursday, right? I think it was Thursday.
Yeah.
And so I texted Jazz, was like, how is the movie?
Jazz,
Jazz, can you, for the people, repeat what you said?
I'll pull it up too. Hold on, what I say.
StreamYard doesn't have a screen for that for me to show.
Right. Hold on. Let me see.
It was ass.
I was like, I want to see it.
Ass cheeks.
Okay, yeah. No, I did. No, the funny thing is, this is what I literally wrote. I was the movie, and I said it was ass, like in capital. I said ass, LOL. I said, I went in thinking it wasn't as bad as the viewers are making it, but it is. Like it's terrible.
So we will be getting into that. But we're gonna start off with Moon Knight. Episode 1 review. We're gonna start off with that. So Jay, this is your first time being on PartyChat, which we're happy to have you. What we do first for the review is we give our rating, and then a phrase that we would say to kind of represent our thoughts on the movie or the episode. So for this, Dwayne, how many moons out of 10 would you give this episode? And then what
Oh.
phrase would you say?
10 out of I think it's 10 out of 10 moons, and
Okay.
I would say magical.
Okay.
Magical.
Okay.
Yeah, magical.
All right, Jazz.
10 out of 10 moons and Batman.
Okay. Okay, and Jade.
Is it possible to go over 10?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I say 12 out of 10 moons. And
Okay.
we have one word. Is that what we got? We want just one word or like a phrase?
One word or like a quick
One
phrase,
word.
something that's like
Thank God it's a TV show.
Yes.
And I'll explain that further later if we want to.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. For me, I would give it like, I'm going to say 8.5 out of 10. Or maybe like 9, maybe 8.75, you know? It's in that realm for me out of 10. And as far as a phrase, I would like, okay, Ethan Hawke. That's my phrase. Okay, Ethan Hawke. Okay.
Was it period pull after that too?
You know, like yeah. Yeah, that would be my phrase to say for that movie. In regards to like kind of like a breakdown, right? And this will be a spoiler review. So if you guys have not seen the show, episode 1, and you care about spoilers, then this would be the time. I'll keep this banner up. You can mute it, and then that way you can be a part of the Morbius talk if you want to, but I'll keep the banner up while we're talking about the spoiler stuff. Or you can just check back later. You can watch the episode and then just come back to the VOD of the stream or listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts, because it's going to be up by tomorrow. But yes, let's kind of dive into like, we have our breakdown, right? So acting and directing, like the pros and cons. What do you guys think of the acting of this episode?
Great.
Oh, the acting was great.
Great.
Yeah. I concur. I just, especially for Oscar Isaac, I was just like, yes, this was like one of the best castings. I think Marvel usually does like a pretty good job of casting, but for somebody that usually when they do really great jobs of casting is people that you don't know. Especially with like the original people, like they, at least if they were like, you know, in other movies, they weren't really in that type, or they weren't really that like, you know, super duper famous. But since Oscar Isaac already has been in like Star Wars and all these other really cool movies, it was like already a little bit hype, but you're not sure how it would translate into like this new Marvel genre. And the just this sheer difference between what we've seen of the different identities, both just, you know, verbally, personality wise, but like even demeanor, like it just gave me like goosebumps. It's like, yes, this is exactly what I'm wanting. I can't wait to see more of it.
I agree. I feel like the best scene in the episode for me was when he was at that restaurant, because like he thought that the whole thing in the field was like a dream, because when he woke up, he was like, oh, my ankle's still tied. The sand doesn't look like it was touched. The tape is still on the door. Oh, I'm great. And then when he's sitting there waiting for the girl, right? And then and she says, oh no, it's not Friday, it's Sunday. And then when that realism hit, like he was like short from crying, like that realization that you've basically missed 2 days and you thought, yeah, everything's good, I'm safe, everything's great, only to learn that like you missed 2 days, and like that feeling of like you're losing your mind. It's just, I feel like he did such a great job with kind of conveying that, for sure.
Me personally,
Dwayne, looks like you want to say something.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, me personally, I like the cinematography, and I love the editing in this episode, because when it's almost like you're him. It almost is like, it's almost first person. It's almost there, because it's like there's certain spots where he's like, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, I'm here, haha. And all of a sudden he got bloody fists, and you're like, and it just goes black, and then it don't show you what happened, but you get what happened. It's like, you know, it used to be like show don't tell, and they showed you. They was like, we're gonna take Christine, say it right, and they showed him all the bodies around him and his fist bloody, and it's like, oh, so he must have beat their ass, but since we don't know what's going on, it's like, it's almost like the audience doesn't know what's going on, as if he doesn't know what's going on. So I really like that. I'm like, oh man, that is dope. The scenes where it just cuts and he's just here and it's just amazing. I'm like, all right, this is I feel like this is gonna be a good series. This is gonna be a good series.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's like we're feeling the same anxiety that like Steven's having, where it is like even like I would even go a step further with like the scene where he's on the bus and like he's seeing like the mysterious figure and then Ethan Hawke, like even that I was just like, oh, what was that? Like even when I was watching, I was like, did you see that? And we had to like go back like give him 20 seconds to be like, oh. And then it's like, is that Ethan Hawke? Like, hey, yo. Like even having to like, because at first glance, and if you're just going through it, it's kind of like it's so. Some parts are so subtle yet so jarring at the same time, but this happened for just a moment that'll freak you out or like be like, is that what I thought it was? And that's probably what the character's going through too. So it just helps us understand and like vibe with Stephen more.
I will say one concern I have, right? Because this was something we talked about last week before the episode came out, is since you guys said that he murders, he's Batman, but he murders his victims, right? Or his enemies or adversaries. And I was worried about, since this is a Disney Plus show, are they, it just came out, sorry about that. Are they going to show it, right?
I didn't see it, Chrissy.
I didn't see it, but okay.
It like came to the camera, so I was like, I can't just not say anything, because if it happened, I can't act like it didn't. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna like, oh, Christy, you're not gonna act like spit just didn't come out your mouth. I was like, I have to acknowledge it happened. But like, I was concerned about how they're gonna display the violence. Like, I wanted to see the violence. I wanted to see, give us that parental option. And so the clever way that they did it was every time he blacked out, he had blood on his hands and there's like bodies around him. And then in this episode, you did see a little bit of the work, but I want to see him put in work. I don't want to, the whole series can't be him just blacking out and then bodies around him.
Yeah. I feel like they're going to show it like in the later episodes. I feel like this episode was mainly like what he's going through. So like we don't see the action because he's not seeing it. Like Steven's not seeing it because he's not aware of what he's doing. And then like we only see the blood because that's what he wakes up and sees. Like we only see blood in the aftermath. So we're seeing the same thing that he's seeing. But like maybe down the road, we're going to see what exactly like, the other side Mark is doing. And see that side, maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
So I have a question for if anybody knows, because I thought it was just him and like Mark, right? Because I didn't know Mark's name until the show came out. But who's the third guy? There's a third guy in there, huh?
Khonshu.
You're talking about the deity with the long nose, with the white. Yeah, it's Khonshu. That's what talking to him. That's the god that's talking to him. He's like, oh, this idiot, like the deep voice, like Venom, almost like Venom. Yeah, almost like Venom. The guy that was deep.
Oh, okay, so that's the one with the staff walking towards him creepily.
Yep, that's Khonshu.
Yep. So like Steven, Steven has the accent and everything, but when Mark is talking, it's like it's him talking, but without that heavy accent. And then when it's Khonshu, it's like that deep, like, oh yeah, this is the idiot, like
Okay.
Like, yeah. And so it's actually 3 people.
Okay. See, I didn't know that until they started, or until the when that scene happened. I do hope, because somebody did put a comment saying that when it's Mark's POV, we will see it most likely. So hey, I didn't even realize the profile pic.
That picture always makes me laugh, bro. That makes me laugh.
Oh my goodness, what I saw just now was like, oh wow, okay, all right, yeah, that's there. But like I hope that they do have like at least 1 or 2 episodes from his point of view. Like I'd like to see Mark's side and what's happening. I would like in this series that we learn the how. I know this is not necessarily an origin story, but like I'd like to see the how. How did he get into this situation? How did this happen for him? Yeah,
that's the part where I was like, I'm so happy this is a TV show, not like a movie. Because this is a movie, we would only have like maybe 1 episode or 2, like 2-3 hours of whatever this is to explain all of that. But now that we have like more screen time, essentially, they can take their time and actually tell the story and explain it without it being like, what the heck happened? Because I feel like that happened with Eternals, where people are like, this movie is so long and it's explaining and I don't know, and everything wrapped up too quickly and there's too many characters. But with a show, you can easily have that be digestible, have it make sense, give it justice, give it time to be fleshed out. And that's why I'm just so happy for something as complex as this, they're actually going to put it in the show format.
I do feel like Eternals would have been great if it was a show.
Yeah.
I agree. Like once you said that, I was like,
100%, 100%.
And then have it where everybody has their own episode, right? Because there's a show that did this where you saw something
about Sense 8.
Yes,
like
maybe
Sense8 did that kind of do that, or at least they either was single or it's like they'd be in pairs, like two people would be together, or like they'd be talking to each other, so you could at least see mostly
how it carries
one
on.
Or two, like how their relationships go. And
Umbrella Academy season 2 did that as well.
Ooh, Lord. Oh, that show is amazing.
That's the show I was thinking of, because in that one, each character had their own episode, basically, where you saw at the beginning how everybody got there, and then in each episode you kind of see their journey to a certain point. And then the last couple episodes was them together and then kind of going through this thing. And I was like, the Eternals, once you said that, Eternals would have been great if it was like that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay, let's talk about Ethan Hawke really quick, because I thought that I was pleasantly surprised. I want more of his character. I like how he's kind of like a cult devotee, you know, he's very devoted, where he's like at the beginning when you see him, he's breaking glass and pouring that in his sandals. And that takes me kind of back to like this certain extremist sect of Catholicism where they would like self-lashings type of thing, you know, to keep them humble and a sign of humility, you know? And so it definitely took me back to that when he was like walking with this glass in his sandals. Where are they? Where is he? That's one question I have. Where is he?
There's been this theory going around that they're actually from Latveria. Did I say right? Latveria, by Dr. Doom's home country, and that's where they say that they are at. And so, like, that's just a theory. And so I'm like, if that's where they're at, that is huge.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know, because he was at London, and it seemed like it didn't take him that long to get. I mean, I don't. That's supposed to be
Europe
London,
is
right?
so small. Like you could probably like fall asleep on like a train and end up in like 2 different countries over. So that was believable. But I was just curious about like, I guess their explanation for, because I mean, Ethan Hawke is white, so I'm just like, how did you get wrapped up in all this Egyptian god stuff? I need answers.
Well, a lot of that's real life though. They go over there from Britain straight over there and take the stuff from the temple,
the way of the
and
colonizer,
put it in the museum, and then be like, this is from Egypt, and this is what.
That's Black Panther. Black Panther at the beginning when he had her tell her like everything, where everything. He's like, you mean they stole it? Like when she's like, oh, it was gifted. He's like, willingly? I don't think so, lady. You lie, lady. You lie.
So I think I don't know. I'm kind of interested about that too, because that'd be huge. Like, oh man, we're gonna have Doom soon, so I'm excited for that.
That would be cool. But I worry if that's like a Mephisto thing happening, because ever since I'm
that scarred everyone. Mephisto, nah.
Yeah, Mephisto.
Rob Boner, you'll get that though. You'll get Rob Boner all day long, man.
Goodness, poor that guy. There was something I was going to say in regards to Oscar Isaac in this series. What is he supposed to be? Is he another white guy that has it? Is he not white?
What are you asking? You're saying
is because we were talking about Ethan Hawke. He's clearly white, right?
Right.
Oscar Isaac, he can portray ethnically ambiguous. He can.
Yes. Yeah, he can. As
far as like his features, he can play ethnically ambiguous. So I wanted to know, what is the ethnicity he is in this?
I have no idea. I guess we're gonna learn later on.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I mean, it's like probable that maybe they're trying to go with like some type of Egyptian heritage, because I mean, London and everybody just getting colonized by that. So
Mm-hmm.
But okay, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Someone- I like this answer right here. I'm gonna
Guatemalan. That's hilarious.
of all the countries
Yeah.
you could have chosen,
he's
the fact
Latino
that
in
you
real
said
life.
Guatemalan.
Okay, he's Latino in real life. Okay.
Well, I think he's like
Yeah.
is he just strictly, or is he
Probably more than that. I'm pretty sure.
because I think he might be like mixed with a couple of things, I believe.
My
Oh
favorite.
no.
My
His
favorite-
name is Oscar Isaac Hernandez Estrada. So yes, he is 100% Guatemalan. So that was not a joke that he's actually Guatemalan.
yeah.
I thought that maybe he was mixed. I knew he was like had Spanish, but I thought he was mixed with something else. So since he is Spanish, I wonder in this what Stephen Grant is. Stephen Grant, you know,
he's a British bloke.
Egyptian, or is he
He's a
Spanish
British bloke.
Jade, what were you gonna say?
I said my favorite quote from Oscar Isaac was when he's talking about like he was basically too thick for the seats in the Star Wars set. So he was just like, yeah, they were not made for these ethnic Guatemalan hips.
Oh my god!
So he had too much cake for those X-wing sets. So
I feel that, bro. Jasmine
is
always talking about me
hilarious.
like that too.
That is hilarious.
Never mind.
never mind.
Never mind.
Cakeage.
He said, "What
I
you
do
walking
wonder-
around double cheeked up on this Tuesday?"
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah.
You know, like when
Right.
like dudes be like bending over and then like you just walk behind them. That's all I do is just walk behind them.
Right, and smack my ass too with that too.
I'll get behind him and stand, and then he's like, "No, get away."
I do slap hubby's booty too. He doesn't like it, but I'm like, listen, you do it to me, I do it to you too.
Right.
Okay,
Y'all be having
You
cake
get-
too. Act like we can't, you know.
right?
It's only
Can't like get a
fair.
nice grab on it and just like, "Rrr," you
All
know?
right, Tony the Tiger. He's like, "Arr, arr." They're right. Hell, you aggressive, Christine. Jesus. Give me the buds.
Give me the buns.
Oh
Oh my goodness. So somebody, we are not, the reason I was asking, okay, I saw the comment there that I will address. The reason I was asking is because I wanted to know what ethnicity he is, because we know Ethan Hawke is white. He's got this Egyptian thing. I wanted to know what Stephen Grant's ethnicity is, because are we to believe it's two white guys getting it, or is it one? Is he supposed to be Egyptian? Like, or
Yeah,
if he's Spanish, how did a Spanish guy end up with this Egyptian power? That's essentially what I wanted to know.
Yeah, because a lot of like, there's another sector of like, like Marvel fans that are like, I'm trying to say my words very carefully here. Starting to get a little upset because they think that they're whitewashing certain characters compared to how they are in the comics.
Okay.
So they feel as though America Chavez, she's supposed to be in, the Multiverse of Madness, and they feel like they whitewashed her. And as well as Miss Marvel, they feel like they whitewashed her compared to her comic book. And in the comics, they're like brown skinned, and then when you see them in live action, they're lighter.
Oh, they're lighter.
So
So
they're
shade
Yes.
shade colors. Okay.
So that's like, that's the same. You're in the vein of like some people that are like, maybe we should be more, original to the source material, So I kind of get it, like, but my part is like, if they're like I get trying to get like the same tone of the skin tone of the characters and be as original as possible, but sometimes I think it's about who could act the best. Let's keep it real. Like, if she could out-act the other girl, I don't care. Like, we want the acting to be well. We don't want the acting to be trash. So that's just my take on it. But as far as that,
I do feel like with that, there are a lot of things that come into play. I mean, I do feel like there are moments where it is clear, right, where they are whitewashing a character, or where they are, where there's like other people, especially when you find out who else was up for the role, and like, okay, this person is a great actor, and they probably could have been this person, or even we've had a conversation where we're like, oh, this person would have been great. We've seen them play that role in a different movie, So we do know that there are moments where they do whitewash, but you also have to think about in other cases, right, where if who did they come across, who was auditioning for the role, who came up for the role. Maybe they originally were going to go with somebody else, but there was conflicts. There are a lot of different things to think about. But my thing wasn't more so in like, are they whitewashing the character? But at the end of the episode, I was like, okay, did two white guys have this power? How did these two white guys get it? Like, how do we get? I mean, they will hopefully explain how did they get these powers? But that's why I was asking you guys, what is Stephen Grant? Because I wanted to see, is this something that's because I know nothing about Moon Knight. I know nothing about Moon Knight. So is this something that's passed down? Did he, go on a trip and then this happened? Or like, I was just trying to see where does this
we're not going to
fall?
ruin it for you. I would tell you a lot, but I'm not going to ruin it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to allude to it. If you saw like at the end of the episode, he talked to some woman and then he was like, who are you? They're going to allude to that. And if you was watching the post-credit scenes, it kind of has some stuff that kind of like hint on what might happen in the future. Well, I think it's going to happen in the future.
Wait, what post-credit scene?
They didn't have nothing like, how Marvel has like a legit post-credit scene. Where it's actual talking. No, I'm talking about like they just had like a time lapse of certain images that's going on at the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
You probably skipped that. Okay. Like people skip it if we ain't seeing no edit screen. We skip it. So
I watched the episode twice, and I was like, had it playing. So I don't know if maybe I might have missed the images. After kind of going back to cinematography though, I did like when they were when he was in the bathroom. Well, I guess it's also they, right? He's one man with many within him. So when they were in the bathroom, and why did you make that face?
Sorry, my mind is bad. So when you said
many men within him,
it just sounded wrong.
she was like,
I didn't want to say anything. So
I saw your face go. And I was like, wait, is that the wrong part? That's what I was talking about, the right part? No.
Just ignore me.
That made me think of Charlie. I hope Charlie's doing well today. So when he was in the bathroom and when he was having that conversation with Mike, and Mark, on the wall were hieroglyphs. Glowing on the wall behind him and around him. And I was like, okay, that's a nice touch. That's actually pretty cool that they incorporated that.
That was pretty fire. I ain't gonna lie. Like when he was talking to himself in the mirror, and that was pretty fire. I was like, yo, that's dope. And then the transformation, dope.
Yeah.
I like the transformation.
I like the texture of a costume. I feel like because a lot of the Marvel stuff has been kind of just like, a little bit of texture, like weird spandexy material. Like I'm not really sure where the heroes go get their costumes and buy their fabrics or whatever. But the cloth aesthetic is
the mummy, like you see like a wrapped up mummy.
No,
Yes.
It just feels right. It feels good. It just
It hit different. I was like, when I saw it compared to the previous like outfits that he had, compared to this one, I'm like, yo, this one just he drippy. He
looks good in the suit. He definitely looks good in the suit for sure. One of the things, so I will say that I do feel like there are certain things that I don't know if it's because it's a PG-13 show or I felt like that it could have hit, like, I get the idea that they were trying to add with like a creepiness, right? Where they have the scene with the elevator where the light's kind of darkening and light brightening up and you see that guy kind of coming at him, right? I just feel like they could have made it, like, I just feel like that it was almost scary. Like it was, I get the eeriness, but I just didn't feel like it was like, I didn't feel like they hit the level of like adding like, oh my goodness, terror.
They really could have, but I don't think they might be like teasing. We haven't watched the whole series yet, so we don't know how dark it could really get.
I hope it gets dark. I do hope it gets dark. I want I understand you can't make this like Deadpool or Daredevil, but like I do, and it's still a concern for me because yes, they were a way to cheat. It was to kind of play it from his POV, like Jazz was saying, with us not seeing the action because he also wouldn't see it, right? But I like watching the rest of it. I do hope that they add someone said DC dark or moderately dark. I want at least moderately dark. Like get.
That's what we loved about the Netflix series is that they were moderately dark. They were superheroes in the real world. Like if you was in actual real life, like you still had Luke Cage still dealing with like racist cops. Jessica Jones dealing with trauma of an ex, trauma and manipulation from her ex. Daredevil still being blind and still have to, walk with a stick and carry his life, 2 different lives. And we don't talk about Iron Fist.
And he nearly died so many times. Oh yeah, we ain't gonna talk about him.
Yeah.
But he nearly died so many times. Daredevil, like you can argue, hey, are you superpowered? Because he nearly died so many times.
And that's what I think that's what Marvel is missing. Like they did a great job with WandaVision as far as her grief and stuff like that. But I think they're just missing that element of like actually getting to know the characters. And I think that's because they got to punch in so much with 6 episodes. I think they need to start the 6 episodes.
Come on, bro.
I think 8, at least 8. At least 8.
Well?
It's 6
is this
as well.
6?
6,
Yeah.
yep, 6, yeah. At least 8. At least 8, bro. Like at least 8, man. Because I tell you all the time, like we still don't know much about Anthony Mackie's character, Captain America. We still don't know about his past, how he got his wings, and we're missing out on that. We got more Bucky than him, and so it's like like we don't get proper origin stories. And if you guys are going to take these side characters that were once, that were once I can make the main, and we need to get some origin story, and we need to care about these characters, and we need to know why. So I think this might be the first one. Like I like Loki, but we already know a lot about Loki. So as far as a new character, I think Moon Knight might be the one where they might get it right. They might be able to fit in what they need to.
That's a lot to put on this might, because there's. It's funny how Disney Plus has only had a few shows, but they have tropes. One of the tropes is the 6th episode. Another trope is the fact that they're trying to stuff so much in it that pacing with characters can just go from like Hayward, how he just seemed like he was a little shady. Then at the end of the episode of WandaVision or end of the season, he's shooting at kids. It didn't make any sense. Like how he jumped. Like,
hold up. Where did he get me?
Yes.
We don't know nothing about Hayward and what, like he, you know what I'm saying? He just, hey, I'm gunning these kids down. Like,
right.
Or like Loki being like, all of a sudden, I love myself.
That was so
cool. The self-cessed. A lot of people didn't like the self-cessed.
That was self-cessed. That's a perfect word for that because I was like, it's like the kiss. I was like, oh, stop. Like, I do not want this relationship at all.
Like that scene could have been cut and she'd be like, be a classic Loki move and just stab the person that she shouldn't have stabbed.
Thank you.
Like that's just a core part of the character, and then they could have been done with it. Like,
but maybe it's differentiate. Like this is Loki, but it ain't that Loki. You know what I'm saying? Like this would have been a chilled out Loki, and that's why they got was about to get pruned or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
But I know Moon Knight, for the first episode, Moon Knight is giving us a little something different than the other ones, right?
Yeah. I also was pretty like skeptical about at least the beginning of WandaVision. I think Loki, I may have been a little bit biased because when I was younger, I was a Loki stan, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
I love him, but it was same like cringe by association. So there was some stuff that were just like I would see it and be like,
man, you like what you like, okay?
I like him, but like I don't know if I'm about that. I'm about that life though, but I like him a lot. But it was just like, hold up, let's calm down, because some people were just like, I don't know, they were sending like hate things to like the gal that was playing Sylvie, and it was weird.
Oh
were they? That's
unfortunately.
So stupid. Like, get a life. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna send death threats or like.
Yeah,
or send mean things. Like my thing is, it's one thing to voice your opinion, say, hey, I didn't really because even for me, right, at first when you saw her when she was masked and everything, and I was like, okay, this character is going to be awesome. And then when you saw her, and it kind of felt like it fell a little flat, right, with how the role was enacted after that, right. But then by the end, I liked her. I started to like her. But even still, I'm not going to be like, hey, let me go send. You know what I'm going to do today, guys? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go write a death threat.
I'm going to send the actress a death threat because I didn't like what the writers wrote for this actress. Like,
mind you, that you sent it to the wrong person because she didn't make the role. She just an actress that came to work.
I'm not saying it's cool, but I'm just saying
don't do it.
Like, don't do it at all. It's stupid.
Don't do it. But you sent it to the wrong person anyways.
Come up with your own story. How about that? Come up with your own story. How about that? The king of your story.
Cash him outside. How about that? That's what he said. Goodness. Yeah, they sent death threats. That's weird. That's stupid. Yeah. People just need to get a life. Go drink a soda. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sit on somewhere.
Like these Marvel Disney Plus shows, usually they have like a slower start. It just like takes a little bit of time, at least for me personally. So like this one having like because I was taking bets with my partner. I was like, okay, are we even gonna see the suit in the first episode? And we did. And
we did.
And already starting to like the character and getting you know, cool with like hip and with it, if you will, with the plot.
That was cute.
Yeah, I'm also trying to deal with Nemo escaping, I think. You know,
Mhm.
go ahead and do you. But yeah, I just think that one of the key differences that like this has a really strong start compared to the other ones.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would say that Captain America, it did have like a good action piece like at the beginning of the first episode. But I will say that this did come with a lot of it does feel like it's different, and I think that that's something that Oscar Isaac said that that's what pulled him to the role, because it seemed like it's different than classically the other stuff in the MCU. So I mean, fingers crossed, but I do hope, like, my concerns are still sitting there, but I do hope that this is going to be a really good season, a really good show.
You know, real quick, I mean, I interjected, but did you guys know that he only signed up for like this? That's it. He didn't make a contract or anything. He just signed up for this one season of Moon Knight.
My hopes
Really
have
Yep.
poofed. I had like a whole mind like plot.
He said he didn't want to be in like a because you know how the Marvel contracts are. You in that
They
you
yoink
in
him.
Yeah, like half your
you're
life.
there for like 10 years. You in there at
Yeah.
least. You know what I mean? You know, you had kids and everything in that 10 years. And you're like, nah, man, you got to finish being Doctor Strange first. So,
Before you can have your kids.
Right. So
You
that's
can't
what
go
he
to the
said. He didn't
graduation. You got to make a
didn't
movie
wanna-
first.
Right. He wanted his flexibility. So that's why he didn't sign like a long contract, you know, with Marvel. So
Did he sign anything with Star Wars? Is it because maybe he signed something with Star Wars and he didn't like what happened, so he's like, I'm not doing it again, you know, because he was in the
that
3.
I don't know. Because I think he talked to Robert Downey and he was like, yeah, like MCU was great, blah blah blah. So maybe Robert was like, man, it helped me out, but like I kind of like wanted to do different stuff, but I had to be obligated as my main priority for MCU. So I don't know. Me personally,
I do remember.
I wonder if Last Jedi was it? No, not last. What's the second one? What was the second of this last batch?
The first one was
I
Force
have
Awakens.
no idea. Well, you mean the last like 7 through 9 or something?
Yeah.
The ones that
What was the second one? What was the one
ones
that
that
people
suck.
hated the most?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Force
was it
Awakens,
called?
right? Force Awakens was the first one.
It's hilarious that we don't know.
I don't remember it was the Force Awakens because I like that the one the best.
I
You know
didn't
what
even
I'm
see
saying?
the third one. I don't know.
Is it the
They were
Last
Force
so
Jedi?
Awakens
bad.
was the first one.
It's not
The last-
Is it the Last Jedi?
Last Jedi.
Is it?
Because it's where Luke dies technically, so he's the last one, right?
I'll look it up.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
look
The
it
Last Jedi. So yes, that one. You said that is your favorite, Tavares. We're gonna have to talk, boo. Okay, that's a great picture though. Profile
It
picture's
had
great.
some cool fight scenes, but yeah, I think that like Oscar Isaac
We
when
don't
he
have
was
to
doing
talk to us.
post interviews of the everything that with that trilogy did to him in like John Boyega. He was just like, to be in another Star Wars movies, yeah, sure, I'll do it if I need another house. So he was like, I don't want to do that anymore. So maybe it's like
maybe that
combination of that experience and then not wanting to get into a franchise and then see your character just be yoinked all
Go
over
through
the
that.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, because I will say that they felt that like they pushed like Poe Dameron was going to do a lot in the first of the last trilogy, and then it just in Last Jedi they definitely played his character like a lot in the Last Jedi, and then he kind of fizzled out in that last one. You know, it didn't really. I feel like in that last 3, the only one they really truly cared about was Kylo. They didn't really care about nobody else, because even Daisy, they pooped on her story at the end too, and I was just like, okay. I just want
gotta rewatch it, to be honest. I want this stuff nowadays to be unpredictable. Like I want you to make. I don't know where your story's.
Do you think that's possible? That's a question I do want to post. Do you think it's possible to be surprised by content now?
Yes,
I think so.
It is. We've seen it.
Because I feel like everybody.
Don't forget Invincible.
What? Oh well, yeah. But I come from
right.
My mindset is like everybody has their own individual mind, which could create an individual idea that nobody else has made. So that's why I think that like we can do it. It's just that people see the success of stuff that has worked in the past, and they're like, "Oh, what if I throw a little bit of that in there since it worked before?" And nobody wants to like get out the box and do something daring and different because they don't know if it's going to be successful or not. They'd rather just go and copy somebody else that was.
Can we go to Morbius now? Because that segues into what I'm going to talk about. Morbius,
yeah. Okay. So that's a good segue into Morbius. Yep. Well, hold on, Jade. Do you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I have a question as the only person who hasn't seen Morbius. but we can get that when we get to the next slide, I guess.
Okay. So this weekend, Morbius, all right, came out on Friday.
And that's the best picture you can
Is
get.
that the best picture you can get, Christy? What is that?
Oh my God.
What is that? He got some
Let
nice
me tell
cheekbones,
you.
though.
Let
He
me
got
tell
some
you
nice
the
cheekbones.
issue. Let me tell you the issue I run into, because when I'm like, hey, let me get images for this thing, some of these images are w.p, and I'm like, okay, I would have to download that, upload that to Pixlr to then
and then
change
convert
the
it
thing to a
JPEG.
PNG and then download it again. So I was like, I'm gonna just take whichever one I get, because y'all know what movie we talking about, and that's where I had to leave, because all the best pictures were web.p. We need to F that freaking file type and throw that away.
I don't
Okay,
understand.
everybody use PNG from now on or JPEG, please.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness. That being said, Morbius came out on Friday officially. Some people could see it on Thursday, depending on which theater is near you. And so, okay, he wants to be a part of this conversation. He's like, Morbius, let me come back. Let me come back.
All right.
So it came out. J-Dog has some thoughts. Okay, J-Dog has some thoughts about this movie.
That's pretty much what I'm planning on doing it, because I love me some bad movies. I really do. But but spending the money on those bad movies, I don't know.
So you like watching them, just not spending any money on them.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
But if there's a free way to watch it, yeah, hit me up.
There is. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So with Morbius, right? Because I did not hate it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. I want to hear your guys's. Well, I didn't say amazing, but I didn't hate it. Well, there was one thing I liked. Okay, we're gonna talk.
Get into it. I want to hear
your guys's like rating and your phrase, and then I'm gonna share mine. All right, Dwayne, go.
Where did it begin?
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
How many bats out of 10?
How many bats out of 10? I think like 5. I think 5 out of 10, bro.
5 out of 10. Okay, Jazz.
3.
3. Okay. Me, I'm gonna say 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10.
So gracious.
Oh my goodness.
That movie.
Wait, what is
it? I feel like it's biased. I think you got Jared Leto bias or something.
That's what my husband thought. But no, I will explain. All right. Because I will say, I will be honest, I am a Jared Leto fan. But listen, hold on. Listen, it's not even from his acting roles. It's from his band. He was in a band. I forgot the name of the band.
This is only W. It's only W.
What's hilarious is when he was walking, after he gets the, we're going to just jump into spoilers. After he gets his powers, which I guess is not really that much of a spoiler, he gets powers, right? Yeah. So after he gets his powers and he's walking, all I hear is, come break me down. That's his song.
Bury me.
He was a lead singer. Yeah, bury me, bury me.
Oh, he made that song?
That's him. That's him.
I'm like the Guitar Hero.
Yeah, that's him.
Really?
Someone put the name of the band in the chat, please.
I think it's 30 Seconds to Mars.
Oh, yes, that is the name of the band. There we go.
I did not know. That's wild.
Because I told Jazz, I said this guy, like Jared Leto is handsome, but I was like, he kind of looked like a cult leader to me. I ain't gonna lie.
No, he for sure could be a cult leader.
There's rumors that
he was a cult leader.
Yeah, there's people saying that he has a cult on an island somewhere. That's what people are saying.
I think that might just be the same people that say Tupac is alive might be saying that.
Yeah, they said.
I don't have the receipts for that one. So
Jared Leto is he could play a good cult leader. I ain't gonna lie. I would cast him in a movie. It would just be called Jordan Peele. Look, I got your next idea. Just cult and have him as your main guy.
Be very easy.
Okay, so what it says here, based off of. I can't even say the name of this website. I don't even know what that word is. But they said that in 2019, the band 30 Seconds to Mars invited fans to a retreat. And so maybe that kind of started the talk about
don't drink that Kool-Aid, man.
Cult. Right, like that. They went to a retreat.
What?
Anyway,
yeah. So I thought that I would say his acting was fine, right? Let's start with what I liked about the movie, all right? Because when I tell you the list, let me tell you kind of like when I saw the movie, I saw it yesterday. Went to the theaters, came back, and I was talking to my husband about it. And I told him that I was like, "Oh, I didn't hate it." And I was like, "I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty okay." And I went through all the problems, and then he's like, "Are you sure you liked it?" I was like, "Yeah, I thought it was okay." And he's like, "From everything you're saying, it sounds like you didn't like this movie." And like, I did. It was okay. And the reason being is that there were less things. There wasn't anything that happened in this movie that took me out of the movie. When I compare this movie to like Justice League, there was, and we're not going to do the Snyder Cut. We're going to do like the original Justice League, right? When that movie came out, when I watched that movie, there were so many things that just took me out of the movie. Like so many things that took me out. Whereas in Morbius, there wasn't anything that took me out of this movie where I was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to see this anymore. I'm done. I'm ready to leave. None of that happened. So that's why for me, it landed in okay. But talking about the good things, right? I really liked that Doctor Who guy, you know, the
Come on, Milo.
Milo.
Oh,
Milo.
okay.
Yeah.
His scene was like, okay, I felt like that scene, there was a scene where he was like feeling himself. I'm just gonna say feeling himself in the mirror. I'm like, we did not need that. What do we need?
Oh, the
man?
dancing. He didn't.
I
was sitting there cringing.
I was confused because I'm like, is that his girl? Is that the guy's girl that he hitting on? And if so, like, what is going on?
He didn't need to dance. Dancing is not his forte, and that did not need to happen.
Push-ups, and then he was dancing. It was like I was saying this dude need to be the son of Mask. That's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, he need to be the new Mask because it's perfect.
Oh, okay, I can see that. Right. I could see that. I could see that.
Right? Can we like?
Yeah,
I can see that.
I don't know, man. I was like, this is not.
Maybe I do need to see this. This sounds hilarious.
I was laughing. I was laughing.
I was like,
yo,
I don't need to see you dance.
What is this?
Outside of that, I really liked his character. I liked him embracing this and like there are things that obviously don't make sense, right? A lot of things don't make sense in this movie. I do feel like a lot of things were cut out of this film. I feel like they were like, hey, we need to kind of keep it down. So I think that they cut a lot of stuff out of this film. If they had like a director's cut, I feel like it would be such a better movie. Kind of like the Justice League thing, right? Everybody's like, let's show me the Snyder Cut. And then after Snyder Cut came out, people loved the Justice League, right?
Yeah.
I think a similar thing is happening because pacing that I felt like I was watching a Disney Plus show because I felt like character pacing did not make any sense. Like the love story, I felt like it wasn't needed.
That's what I'm saying. That's like he don't need no love interest. You know, we already know who she is. It was like clear as day. This is gonna be his love interest. Okay, like you know, and like, he didn't need that.
And so. My biggest complaint is I don't know his powers. I don't understand anything of his power. Like there hasn't been any stating of his powers. And how does he turn people? How did she turn? How did she turn?
Yeah, I don't know how she turned.
She got bit.
I'm like, if everybody else could do that, then I'm pretty sure you're telling me that everybody else that can get one drop. Like you know what I mean? I don't know. And then I think these movies. I think Sony needs to just stop playing and go R-rated. I kept saying that. Venom would be such a much better movie if it was R-rated.
Yeah.
Same way with this. He was literally slashing people, and you couldn't see anything. I was like, it's black as hell. And then what's funny is that they did slow motion, so then you can see what happened. It'd be like, no, fast, slow motion. Then they do it again. They did that, and that's why you have because they did that shit about 7-8 times throughout this movie.
They did it so many times.
I don't know what the hell is going on.
I said that in our little movie review because I was like, this is literally like the fight scene. Enemy, him. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
That's how they pitch. That's how they pitch the movie.
That's it. You can't see shit. You can't see anything that's going on. And then when you do see it, it's a slow-mo of them almost getting you assume they're getting slashed. And then it gets back to you can't see anything. So it's fucking
such
terrible.
a perfect representation. It is. I felt like it was like Transformers 1, where whenever there was fighting, I'm like, okay, I guess two cars are fighting. I don't know what's happening. Like that action was just so blurry. Where you're just like,
and then the thing that gets me in the movie. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling everything because I know you didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a spoiler talk. Spoiler.
Yeah. Okay, it's like in this movie. I just feel like nothing makes sense to me, like at all. There's a point in the beginning of the movie, right? Me and Dwayne talked about this. He went to where was it, Costa Rica or some place like that, to get these specific bats and trap them. He had a whole trap, right?
I
So
didn't
as soon as he
understand the
had
trap.
the trap, the bats came through because he had the blood, but they just flew right through the damn trap and then just was circling around him. So what was the point of the trap? What
That's
is
why I
the
thought. I
point
like
of the thing?
usually it's like an accident
Like-
that gives the people the power. And
Right,
so that's
but
what I
this
thought was gonna
wasn't.
happen there. He just
Yeah.
went to go
It
capture
wasn't.
some bats. I was like, so what the fuck was the whole point of that scene then? He could just
And
have the
then-
bat. We could just cut to him having the bats.
And then if
Yeah,
that's the
that's true.
case, and he needed these specific bats from Costa Rica to do his thing or whatever, then we get to the end where he's doing the big boss fight or whatever, and then now he can automatically control bats. And then it's like it was so many bats underneath the city that he was already from. So I'm thinking, why did you have to go to Costa Rica?
Go to Costa Rica.
If you
That's
had the
true.
bats here. Like, I don't understand. Like,
That's
what?
true. Well, he
it
did
didn't
say
make
vampire
sense.
bats, so maybe the bats in the city aren't vampire bats, but in
Yeah,
Costa
they could be
Rica they're
regular
vampire
control
bats.
those. Like, so it's just like, so
They
it's
could
just
be
all
regular
bats,
bats,
or
yeah.
like, it was just a lot. And then
I don't know.
the villain's motive for being the villain is basically like, oh, you don't want to join me in living life this way, so now I'm gonna try to kill you because you don't want to live the life that I want you to live. And then when you try to kill me, I'm gonna pull the sympathy card and be like, oh, we're friends, Michael.
Yeah,
why?
he said. Yeah,
Why
he's
are
like,
you
I'm
doing
Milo.
this,
You gave me your
Michael?
name.
I tried to
everything.
kill you,
So-
but why are you killing me?
No, so the thing that
Oh
took
my
me to like
God.
real life situations. You ever been with in a friendship, right, where you're trying to be a better person, like you're trying to evolve, and then that person ends up being a toxic presence in your life, and then they try to take you. It's
Try
like
to reel you back
the
in.
passive, ways to try to. So that when I saw him, I was like instantly took me to like real life
okay.
situations of like somebody who is like, oh, now that the mindset of, oh, you think you're better than me now that you're trying to live differently, and you have people that are like that where they essentially try to either reel you back in or ruin things around you so you can end up being just friends with them or
Okay.
you know. So that's what that made me think of when I watched it.
But
when I
I'm just
watched
saying, like, compared to all the other villains that are like doing catastrophic things in this world, and that's why like they're the villain that they are. That's a whole you problem villain origin story. Like that's like
that's
you
a
have a
well, I do like
personal
that it was
vendetta.
smaller though than
Right.
than like decimate a city. I was happy it was smaller. However, the thing that would have helped us as the audience is if they had paced it more, because we didn't really care about that. We didn't feel the weight of their relationship. They met when they were kids, and then next scene they're adults. So it's like
And
you
please,
didn't even.
And please tell me why Tyrese is in this movie. Tell me what he added to the movie.
Tell me why Michael
Tyrese
Keaton is in this movie.
He's
Why
not
was-
in it. He's not even in it.
They're not in it. They're not in
No,
it. They're
he's in the
like 2 seconds, man.
No,
Right.
Michael Keaton is in the cutscene. They had him in the
I
trailer.
know,
Like,
I
he's gonna be a
know.
big
In the
thing.
trailer, not in the movie, and then
No.
in the cutscene.
Cutscene at that.
And then a cutscene didn't make sense because we didn't even. The cutscene made absolutely no sense. It was just like they took him from his universe, now put him into the Morbius universe. We have no idea what Spider-Man is even in this universe, right?
Right. If there is one.
If
right,
there is
'cause-
one, right. And so
Mhm.
they just let him out of jail because he magically appeared. And then he says, you know what? I don't know why I'm here. I just know Spider-Man did it. And then he goes to Morbius, meets
That
him,
one was
and then
yeah.
just be like, hey, Morbius, I've been reading up on you. We should team up. I don't know why
Yeah,
I'm
we
here,
should link
but
up.
it's up to Spider-Man. We should team up. Morbius says, yeah.
I think we should.
But like he has his gear. See, I actually found out about this part. It was like he has his
Yeah.
gear. Like he didn't
Well,
die.
it's like makeshift gear. I think he like made something, put something together.
But didn't he need specific like Chitauri? Like that's like
Yeah, he had
advanced.
to scrap it from the Chitauri.
From-
That's the
it
thing
was
that
from-
I'm so
yeah.
confused about. He came to a whole nother universe that he is unfamiliar with, and somehow he got his whole suit. How
And
he
you know
got
what? And a lot of people didn't
How?
like that. The fact that like they had like showed Spider-Man in the thing, and it was like murderer. Remember that in the trailer?
Yeah, it
was,
showed the
was, like,
Sam Raimi Spider-Man, so that's Toby Spider-Man they showed in the original trailer.
Yeah.
But
and said
he's
That they
murderer.
had
not
access
and
to.
then-
And
And then
And then they had an
Right.
Oscorp
Right.
logo from Andrew's.
so nobody knows
Spider-Man.
what universe this is in. Like we have no
Yeah.
idea.
But we know it's Venom's universe, but we don't know which. And then
We
obviously
don't know
there's
which
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man he's going to
Spider-Man
encounter.
is-
Who is
yeah.
it?
Right.
Yeah,
It
because
might be
people
Miles.
were
Who knows?
It couldn't have been
I don't
either of
know.
those because in Spider-Verse, which would have been after, not Spider-Verse, that's what I call it, but
No Way
the
Home.
last one, No Way
Yeah.
Home, which was after Venom, one of those Spider-Man would have known about Venom because Venom was like in whatever city this was in. What city was this in? I can't even
New York.
remember.
This was in New York. This city was in
This
New York.
was in New York.
But
He knew
Venom
about
is in
San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it was
so they
like,
mentioned it.
it was like because Venom would have known because of his hive mind of it could take. Someone had a very long explanation about this on Reddit.
Yeah.
Venom's like his hive mind when he tells Eddie that he like knows things that he won't tell Eddie because like it would crush his puny tiny brain. Then that means that maybe Venom symbiote knows about the multiverse already and knows about how in a previous thing that version of Venom fought with Toby Spider-Man. And since it was bringing everybody that knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man there, since he was connected to that Eddie in that universe, that's how that Eddie, the other Eddie and the other universe got over and was like in that universe for like the 2 seconds. So yeah, it was weird. But yeah, it's just like,
all
I
right,
feel-
that can make some sense.
It's when you look, but it still don't make sense because it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
no.
how did they meet? When did they meet? It's just like they just met. They met in the cornfield somewhere and was
How
like,
did he
yeah, let's
find
get
him?
Spider-Man.
I was like,
don't
how
know.
did he find him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because Morbius don't look like he used a cell phone. Okay, he don't really look like the cell phone type.
He's still on the run because they think he killed all those people.
Well, they know he killed some. They don't know how many was him and how many was the other guy.
And the thing that got me also in this movie is that because they're trying to make it like PG-13, like he's a vampire. He's a blood-sucking vampire.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Every time that you saw this man drink blood, it was either fake blood or it was real blood that he used like a Capri Sun. Like every time. It was Capri Sun time.
Yeah.
Like like I'm just like, what?
When
Like,
he did that, because he did it the same way, and I watched Jeremy John's review, shout out to him, of the movie, and he had done the action. He's like, every time he got a blood bag, he drank it the same way, and he's like,
yeah, he did.
He did. He definitely did.
He did. I was like, you know what? That is true. He did. And then also, like, whenever it happened in the movie, I was like, man, does he waits till he's really thirsty or hungry to drink, doesn't he? Because he drank like he about to die right now.
And
like
the blood
you know how you're hungry.
Never red. It was only a few times it was red.
Yeah, I think so this was something that I didn't realize until I watched his review where I understood, because I knew he made that synthetic blood, right?
Yeah.
And later on he says blue or red, you know, and I thought it was just like the natural thing of blood in your body, because when your blood doesn't have oxygen in your body, it's blue. When it has oxygen, it's red. But I didn't realize that the blue blood was supposedly his synthetic blood that he had made.
Yeah.
And the red blood means human blood. But because they didn't really show blood, I just thought all blood was made equal. I didn't understand. I do feel like, okay. And then, so jumping to another issue with pacing, Nicholas, was that his name? Nicholas, the doctor that had them when they were kids and was essentially still their like friend.
Yeah.
I feel like I wanted more of that relationship. I wanted to know more of that weight of what he meant to both of those kids and to these men now, right? And what that death would mean to Morbius. Also the death of the chick. I do feel like they didn't really provide us time to really care for any of the relationships in this film at all. It's just, I really liked how, I feel like acting wise, the Doctor Who guy, which I think might be Matt Smith. Somebody let me know in the chat.
Yeah, it's Matt Smith.
Matt Smith, yeah. He is the only one that I really felt played with his role. He's the only one that had charisma and character and like seemed to have fun with his character and how he played it. Jared Leto was fine, but he was kind of like 2 steps above monotone with like his character, because his character was kind of mostly just one note outside of like the that would happen, you know, when he would do that scream, which I would say as far as like, right? Hell yeah, that's how he would do it. Like, I liked the display of powers, even though I didn't really understand or know the powers. Like, how does he fly? I have no idea from what I saw, but I liked the illustration of like him, how he sees the world, how him and Matt Smith see the world, where they see kind of like the waves, the vibrational waves of the world, and that's how they view it. And then when they hear, even though this was hella creepy to me, but like the ear thing, like when they were using that power, how their ear would kind of like protrude, kind of like the propellers of like a plane, like the engine of a plane. And that's kind of how they would zero in on sounds. But that just creeped me the F out. Ugh. But it was cool to see them do it, right? And then the face that they had when they were like, let's make sure vampires are not hot. And that is the faces that they went for. And I think that they nailed it. I thought that those were really good.
Sure. Yeah, that part was good. Yeah, I did like the echolocation that he did, and that what is it? What else did they do when he flew? I was like,
how?
Was like,
Someone tell me how. How does he fly?
I don't know.
He glides. He glides. Yeah. I was like, I don't think we need that.
The fight scenes blew me so much because I'm just like, I saw more action in Twilight fighting than I have in this one. You could just give me Edward and he'll fight better.
Yeah, those kind of scenes are like, oh wow, you're just like throwing in there. You're like, oh, you're just trying to make a Sinister Six. And you know, another thing is that I don't think every villain does not need to be an anti-hero. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so he is a villain, right?
He is Spider-Man's villain. He's a villain.
Yeah,
he's a villain. Yeah.
I feel like he was better as villain when he was at the cartoon. Yeah,
the cartoon.
We love the cartoon. Yeah.
They could have made a misunderstood villain because he's like a regular person. He's like, this hunger is like making me do this stuff. I'm not trying. That would have been made me care more. Like, it's a big difference between him when he's like regular and then when he's like hungry as shit and he's just like fucking people up and he's like, I don't know, like I'm trying to control myself, but I can't.
Which it seems like they were trying to do a little bit, but then they made him a good guy. He's a good guy in this. And then at the end, if he does team up with what's his name? Vulture. Yeah, if he does team up with Vulture, it would make no sense because Vulture is
also kind of like an anti-hero,
a villain.
Yeah, they kind of make him an anti-hero.
But he at least made more sense though, because he was like out of necessity because you know, after everything that happened with New York and Avengers, that's how he became who he became, right?
Yep.
So I feel like he was who he was because of necessity. Whereas I don't see how Morbius is going to become a bad guy unless they take a few movies to make him a bad guy. You know, are they going to Jamie Lannister this? I don't know.
I have no idea. Love interest. That's what they got to do.
They already did that.
No, she woke up. Remember?
Oh yeah.
How did she turn? Again, how did she turn?
Because he bit her. Right.
They had that blood dripped in her mouth.
Right. His blood dripped in her mouth. So
then did she bite his lip? Is his lip that weak that she can bite his lip?
Yeah, she bit his lip, took his blood, swallowed it, died, but then got resurrected as a vampire.
Yeah.
So,
again, that scene was so unclear. I thought he bit her lip and tasted her blood, and then he was like, "Okay, and then he drank her blood. I didn't realize that she bit his lip and got his blood. It just.
I don't know. It's so dark.
Need more light.
They
need more light.
Dark movie, right?
Oh, that reminds me. I do have a question though. Did they actually use Batman Begins music in the movie?
You know what? They might have actually. Hold on,
I
saw a clip when he's in the mic, where he's in like the tube and he's just like, the bats, they love me, and they're like all around them, and then it was playing like.
I'm pretty sure that was a meme. I'm not
because I was like, this is. Like I honestly wouldn't know because like what I've been hearing about this movie, but I was like, I feel like DC might have been like, knock knock, my lawyers are here at the very.
I think they for sure would have come for something. DC. So this is something that someone was saying, like Sony seems to be kind of scrambling, kind of like DC, where they're kind of just forcing out stories instead of taking time to actually develop. And it's like the thing that drives me crazy is the same complaint I do have with Disney Plus, right? You want to make it in the streaming world. Netflix has set up a great research palette for you on how to make good shows that like based off of nothing. Stranger Things was like an amazing phenomenon that happened, you know, like taking this time to build these characters, build these stories, and then give us something worth. And that's what Marvel did. MCU, they took 10 years at least, I think until Endgame and Infinity War came out, right? It was like a whole decade of time.
That's 10 years
that they took to like build up each of these characters, give them their movies, and then build something. And who did they choose? When they started, they didn't start with Spider-Man. They started with Iron Man. And they did the Hulk, which people are more familiar with.
Incredible Hulk first, I think, and then Iron Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Iron Man's
Yeah.
technically officially the first one where they had the intent of
The
MCU.
intent, yeah.
Of the MCU. Yeah.
Because they still got that Universal deal, so yeah.
Yeah, because like Thunderbolt Ross did come by. I was like, I want to talk to you.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, too.
Rest in peace, man. I wanted him to have
Shit.
his shine as fucking Red Hulk, man.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So it's just like, I feel like it's another thing where they're not taking their time with these characters. Because Morbius, I don't know anything about. That would have been a great person to like start off and make like a good solitary movie where you take time to introduce him and these people to us. Still give him a small scale situation. He doesn't have to be stopping Thanos or anything like that. You know, keep it small scale, but make us care. I feel like they rush so much that I don't care about your love interest. I don't care about, like, I wanted to care about his relationship with Nick. Like, I wanted more. I wanted more of your relationship with Doctor Who. I wanted more of your relationship with the Nicholas guy. I wanted more of that, you know, so that way I can really feel the depths of the breaking of all of it. Plus, he lost everybody. They Thored him in this movie for sure. Like, he lost his father-like figure. He lost his brother / best friend. He lost his girl. Like,
he lost everybody. Yeah, he did. I don't know. I think they're just rushing too much, and they don't need to make every villain an anti-hero. They don't need to make them redeemable. They don't have to give them redeemable qualities. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you make them a villain as they should be. You know what I'm saying? Just stop playing. Just make him a villain. Make them like, oh shit, this guy's just. He's, you know, not everybody has to be like Thanos, like, oh, I have a greater purpose, because sometimes they just don't. Some people just want to see the world burn. Right, yeah. Like the Joker. The Joker. He didn't care about. He had no reason to do what he did. He just said, "I'm going to do the shit because I want to."
Because I want to.
Yeah. Other route that they could have gone was just gone further into the sheer ridiculousness of it all. That's part of the reason why I say I love bad movies. Like, I freaking love Venom. On paper, probably the best movie for some. For me, I love it though, because they really just laid into this ridiculous dynamic of like this really, really sweaty, stressed man, and like
he was sweaty in that movie.
He was always so sweaty.
Why was he always so sweaty?
Sweaty and unhinged and making really bad decisions, and then you just have like this like alien figure being like, I'm hungry and he feeded me. Like, in the sequel they did about the same things with like maybe a little bit more stakes, but it also have the ridiculousness of like somehow now there's a serial killer of the same things, and you're like, and then people are just like, why did I know about this? Like, oh, I forgot. Like, that if you're gonna be silly.
I didn't see the second one. Was the second one good at all?
I liked it.
I liked
it. I feel like certain parts was like, what the fuck? Like, there's a part where Carnage literally sticks his USB claw inside of a computer and can just switch the web. I said, what the fuck? How? When the fuck? What? At this point, it's like that. Like, bro, like now y'all some bullshit. Like, they literally.
Yeah,
that's funny.
For me, it didn't, like, as Christy was saying, didn't take me out of the movie because I was already set up for like how ridiculous it is. Like, Venom goes to a club, it starts freestyle rapping, and then talks about his feelings at a club. I think it was a club, and it was a rave, and he has like glow sticks, and he's just like, Eddie doesn't love me anymore.
I have
like,
to see this movie.
If you're gonna be ridiculous, be ridiculous. Like. They could have even used 30 Seconds to Mars songs in like Morbius if they wanted to. If they really wanted to have like this weird edgy person, lean into that edgy person like wholeheartedly. Like so just being
I would have liked if they made a line. Like if he was listening to the song and they're like, who's that? He's like, oh, just some band. Like that would have been great for me. An Easter egg. But yeah, so that was our review on Morbius. I feel like there's a lot more that we could dive into the things that happened, but we've been here long enough. and I've got to tinkle
on this same thing for hours, man.
Yeah, and I got to tinkle, so we gotta wrap it. I've been holding you for a while. Don't make me laugh. Okay? Don't make me laugh. But like, I do want to say thank you so much, Jade, for joining us today.
Thanks for having
as
me.
Yeah, as we talk, thank you so much for joining. Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on most social media places as Jade Valkyrie, Twitch as Jade Valkyrie with a 3 at the end instead of an E. On Mondays, I do D&D streams where I play an ethical necromancy cleric. It's really in terms of leaning into ridiculous shit. And that is also on my Twitter a lot. And I usually stream a League of Legends, Elden Ring, etc. Lots of variety games on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, awesome. Jazz, where can the people find you?
Y'all can find me on YouTube, just Jazzy Guns, and Instagram and Twitter _Jazzy Guns because somebody stole my name. So.
Dwayne, where can the people find you?
Find me everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube at Dwayne King with a Y, not an I. Yeah, that's me.
And I'm iChristine. You can find me iChristine everywhere, or iChristine Games on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining us for today's conversation. You can find the Party Chat podcast on YouTube and on Twitch, also on Twitter. We do have a TikTok. We just got to use a little bit more. But also, we will be back next Monday with Fantastic Frankie. We have Ari joining us. And I think I might have a third person that will be joining us for episode 2 of, I was going to say Morbius. But no.
I say, please no.
Oh no.
Moon Knight, where we're going to talk about. But if you are watching and you're like, hey, I want to hear the audio version, we're on everywhere that you can get your podcast. Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere. And the episode will be up later this week. I would say by tomorrow or the day after it should be up. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we out.